Hi, and welcome back to Studio B Ventura for another Business Spotlight podcast, the show designed to help you grow your business. I'm Rodney Medina, your host for today's Business Spotlight podcast. Our podcasts are intended to guide you in reaching your target audience by adding a personal touch to your communication and to help you increase your customer base while at the same time enhancing your brand. On today's Business Spotlight podcast, I'd like to welcome Michael Flamenco of Realty One Group, a team of professional realtors. Mike specializes in assisting sellers and buyers of fine properties located throughout Southern California. Now, what makes Mike unique is not only his level of training, but his commitment to you, his client. Whether it's walking you through the purchase of your first home or assisting an investor with a location and purchase of their next home, Mike's attention to detail is unsurpassed. In the last 10 years, Realty One Group has grown to becoming a leader in sales throughout the United States and also in retention of its professional agents. Realty One Group's family atmosphere allows the team to work together to provide you as the seller or buyer with the most comprehensive and active representatives, from the office manager to the transaction coordinator and compliance officer, making your transactions flow as smoothly as possible. So for your next purchase or first sale of a home, wouldn't you want to work with the most professional national real estate company around? Sounds like a smart move to me, and it makes total sense. Michael, welcome to our Business Spotlight podcast.
Good morning, Rodney. I'm glad to be here.
Now, new times, man. The economy is kind of upside down. Why is California seeing an increase in foreclosure filings?
Well, during the coronavirus, we had the moratorium where, the homeowners didn't have to pay their mortgage, and then the renters stopped paying rent. Now that has all come to a close because on June 30th of this year, the California Relief Program is not going to be accepting any more applications. So now everything is coming in progress. So now everybody's getting their notices, and the ones that fall behind, they're trying to figure out what to do. So I'm just trying to reach out just to give them the right information.
Now, did that, all the moratoriums and the forgiveness of payments, did that put people in a worse position than they were when the pandemic started?
Well, Rodney, that's kind of a broad question because some people, they just stopped making payments because they know they could. They went out and bought boats and cars, and it made matters worse. And others knew, what was coming. Eventually, they were going to have to catch up. So that was a smart one. So some people were in a good situation, and some people put themselves actually in a worse situation.
So the responsible people kept being responsible, and the others just kind of took a chance, right?
Yeah, how people are.
Yeah. So how are California mortgages foreclosed? How does it work here?
Well, the first thing that the homeowner needs to know is when you signed all those documents, when you took out a loan, California is a basically non-judicial system. That means that if your house goes into foreclosure, they don't have to go to court. They can just file it.
That's unique to California?
Well, there's some states.
Okay.
And California does both. But on mortgages, when you sign that loan docs, you're signing that they can just bypass the courts and foreclose on you. And most people don't know that. So that's the first process.
That's kind of scary.
It is, but most of us sign papers. We don't read them all the time.
Sure.
And that's just something it's really not disclosed until that the need comes when you find out what's going on.
It's not disclosed till it's foreclosed. Now, what are some of the reasons homeowners are in foreclosure?
Well, there's different situations. Sometimes someone loses a job. It could have been from coronavirus, health reasons, divorce. Everybody has, a hardship that's something that happened to them, so everybody, has a story of why they need help because people just don't stop making their house payments for no reason.
So explain to us the California foreclosure process, the steps that people go through.
Well, the first step is if you miss a payment and you're 30 days behind, they're going to give you a notice of default. Okay, and that's just telling you have 90 days to catch up on your payment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, they're going to send you another notice of trustee sale, which actually has a sale date on your home. So
And that's after 90 days?
that's after 90 days.
Okay.
So you need to do something. Most people, they get embarrassed, they don't know what to do.
Sure.
But actually the first thing they should do is reach out to the lender when they get the notice of default to tell them what their situation is. But most people just ignore it.
Will lenders work with you if you contact them? I mean, it sounds like some might and some might not.
Yes, most lenders will work with you, but most people don't want to take the time to get them the new documentation they need. Like you tell them, well, yeah, I can afford my payment, but they want, all of your documents on, your banking and your income and your expense so they can see that you can still afford the home.
Okay.
And that's another problem is most people don't make out a monthly budget and they're living beyond their means. And that's what gets them in that predicament a lot of times.
Okay. So they ignore all the letters and the calls, and now they're at the trustee sale.
Yeah, now they have a date. So now they're like scrambling, what should I do? And there's only certain options you can do, make up the payment, in full. When it comes to that 90 days, whatever you're behind, you gotta come with that full amount. And the other thing they don't realize is when you do get a notice of trustee sale, the bank has retained an attorney, and that could be another $25,000 added on the $30,000, $50,000 you're behind on your payment. So you got to come up with the whole amount.
Incredible. Now, what are the options for people to avoid foreclosures on a property?
Well, first thing is they could make the payment. All the penalties and everything come out of it. And most of them don't have that.
Mm-hmm. Or they would do it. So.
They would do it. Do a loan modification with their bank and try to work out where they can put all of the delinquent amount into their loan and, they basically start all over again. They can also just sell their house, to get out of that predicament if they don't have any, funds. And if there's funds left over, then we can help them, get a new fresh start to what they need to do in their life. Most people, or some people will actually file bankruptcy, which just postpones the problem because they have to do something. And it doesn't eliminate the debt. So they don't even realize that, people take out seconds and they have liens. It doesn't wipe out all that. So, it is a process. So they need to get educated on all that.
Realty One Group provides a family atmosphere. Why is working with Realty One and you different than other real estate professionals?
Well, the main reason is if I can't help you, I have somebody on my team that will. We all network together because I won't do a loan, but I have someone that can do a loan to maybe get you a loan modification so you can stay in your house.
But what makes you special? You said that family atmosphere. You told me offline that you're an exceptional listener. Why is that important in what you do?
Well, I believe, Rodney, that everybody gets into a financial hardship for some reason, and I always want to know their story. What happened? How can I help you? And I do have that compassion to help people. I've helped a lot of people save their homes, and I don't make no money from that. It's just a good feeling. And it's something that I know I can do, help them save their home. So that comes across as, I do care about you.
So are you saying that there's other predatory real estate agents or representatives or scams out there that people should be aware of?
Oh, absolutely. Now, because when you get a notice of default and a trustee sale, it's public record. People can even see it in the newspaper. So you have a lot of people just coming and knocking on your door and, wanting to sell your home and telling you, stop making your payments, I'll help you, and you got to realize that even the Bill of Rights that the California homeowners have, that, the attorneys can't even charge to do this. So you want someone that could be trustworthy and someone that can handle all that paperwork because the contracting, it's a lot. And you want someone that'll do everything legal and be on your side. So we have a whole staff that, goes through everything to make sure all the dots and T's are crossed.
So this information obviously is public information because it's real estate. What are some of the red flags that people should be looking out for when they're being contacted by other individuals?
Well, the first thing is don't pay any money up front for anything because that's illegal. That is definitely a red flag. And when somebody tells you, well, let me buy your house, and they're not a realtor, it's just somebody that's trying to get in the door, and they're trying to sell it to somebody else, and they're not, that's not in your best interest. When I work with you, I'm trying to get you in a better situation. I'm actually trying to get more money for your house, so that you can get on, with your life and start over.
Mike, are there resources where people can look to get help in avoiding a foreclosure?
Yes, the one right now is the California Relief Program, which is actually going to end on June 30th, taking applications. But the housing is key. When you go to their website, they're going to direct you so that you can find out maybe there's other links there or other resources that can help you. They're the only one that's trusted right now. So you got to be really careful of other people just telling that they can help you with the problem.
So I see a postcard here. I hope I never receive this card from you, but if somebody were to receive this card, because you send this out to people who are staring at foreclosure, it's public information. So you're sending this card out to. What do I have to look forward to you next if I were to contact you after receiving this postcard from you?
Well, Rodney, the first thing I would do is I have an authorization form that the homeowner would sign and would let me talk on their behalf to the bank, try to negotiate with them. Because like I said, everybody has different situations, and some people have liens on their house, and they have back taxes. So you need to let me speak for you so I can negotiate and find out what's going on. And the other thing is maybe you just want to move. So I do have someone that would just buy your house, and let you get on. And you want to avoid foreclosure at all costs, really. You want to not go through that because your credit, what's going to do to your credit, to put you in a bad situation.
Are banks different in their willingness to work with you? And I guess that's why it's so important to have a liaison such as yourself to be able to work on the behalf of the homeowner.
Yes, because you can work with the bank and actually, give them what happened, what was the hardship, and have the homeowner fill out documentation why they got in this hardship, what the situation is, and make sure that they have enough income to make their payments. And if they don't, let's try to work something out.
And that goes back to you knowing your customer, you asking questions, you listening to their story, which will help bolster your plea to the bank, I guess, right?
Yes, because someone has to talk on their behalf. If you just go file for bankruptcy, the attorney's not going to talk on your behalf to the bank. They're just going to, prolong everything for you. And then a lot of times they'll say, well, just make a payment plan to try to make that money back, the back payments. But if you miss one payment, then you go back into foreclosure. So it doesn't really help unless you just want to walk away, which, it happens sometimes, but we want to try to avoid that.
What is the best thing that, obviously catching up on your payments is the best thing that you could do, but if you have to sell your home, or what's the best thing that could happen using your services for a homeowner?
Well, fortunately, a lot of people do have equity in their house right now because, of the house prices. So a lot of times there'll be cash left over. So just say there's $100,000 left. They actually, have that equity in their house. We can get that money to them and then, help them maybe if they want to rent an apartment or a house, we can help them with that. So this way they'll have something in their pocket, they can get on with their life, and, it just helps a lot.
I can certainly see the advantage of having somebody like you work on behalf of the homeowner and talking with the bank. It's obviously something that people should not try to attempt on their own. You need a professional such as yourself. So keep up the good work. I think you're going to be able to help a lot of people because we're headed for some rocky times, I think. And I think your business is going to bolster, unfortunately, but they're going to need professionals like you.
Well, yes, I appreciate that, and that's what I do. We're here to serve and to help, and and it comes back on you.
Obviously, the best thing a homeowner could do who's facing foreclosure is pay it off. But if they are forced into foreclosure, share with me a success story where you've been able to help guide somebody through a process that actually came out good for them.
Well, yes, Rodney. Just recently out in Inland Empire, I was able to help somebody that they did have equity in their house, but they needed to move on. They were going to get a sale date, so we were able to give them $100,000, help them get an apartment, and then they start their life over, and put all that behind them, and tomorrow's a new day.
So you really can help somebody and save them from a lot of heartache and even embarrassment.
Well, yes, we can. And, that's what I like to do. And it makes me happy to help save somebody's house, or if they need to move on, let them move on, and have some money in their pocket.
Well, that's certainly a reason to hire you or to have you work with me as a homeowner if I'm facing foreclosure.
Absolutely.
What are the areas you serve? We're here in Southern California in Ventura, but you're actually out in the Riverside, Inland Empire area. What other areas do you serve?
Yes, we have offices all over. So, here in Ventura, in all of LA, San Diego, anywhere actually in Southern California. But I'm based in Inland Empire, but I network with all the other, agents that do this for the homeowners.
Very good. Well, hopefully somebody out there who's listening to this podcast will get some help from you if they need it. Hopefully not, but if you do need it out there, I think Mike is one of the guys you need to turn to. Well, I think that does it for today's Business Spotlight podcast. I appreciate Michael being with us today. I hope you learned a lot about the real estate market and distressed properties. I know I did. Now, to get more information about buying or selling a home, you can email Michael at mflamenco, that's Flamenco, like the dance, right?
Yeah.
mflamenco at ymail.com, or you can call Michael at 951-751-5839. Again, thank you for listening to our Business Spotlight podcast. If you'd like to be on our podcast, go to our website, studiobventura.com, or you can call us at 805-312-9523. You can also visit our Instagram and Facebook page. I'm your host, Rodney Medina. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next Business Spotlight podcast. Thank you, Michael.
Welcome.